What's good, y'all? What's good, Real Talk Squad? This is Miles, and you're listening to Real Talk of Miles Johnson, where you know I always keep it real. Let's get right into it, man. Let's get right into it. You know, what's this podcast name? Real Talk of Miles Johnson. What do I say? I always keep it real. In this episode, this very well be the realest episode I ever dropped on Real Talk with MJ. Now, you know, Real Talk, we cover mostly Philly sports, Eagles, Sixers. Shout out to the Phillies. They in the playoffs and all that. We cover them, and I have a soccer background, so I've covered soccer before. So, covered all sports, but one thing that I wanted to be different was that I talked about the social injustices also in sports. I would just like to say, before I talk about what exactly Kaepernick, said yesterday or what came out in news with his letter to the NFL, I want to preface this by saying I love what Kaepernick did. It was courageous. It was something that at that time nobody thought of doing. It sparked a lot of conversation. It ultimately showed where the NFL stands in terms of, you got 70% of your league that's black, but then you have somebody fighting for Black Lives Matter, fighting for the rights of the athletes that put their pads up and all that every Sunday. And he's fighting for their rights. And we saw where y'all stood with that. Clearly the NFL blackballed Kaepernick because he was trying to stand up for something that was ultimately bigger than him. So now we go here, and J. Cole, rapper, if you don't know who J. Cole is, I don't know what to tell you, bro. But J. Cole, he ends up writing something on his Instagram saying that basically Colin Kaepernick asked him, or he actually asked Colin Kaepernick, and he said, can I go ahead and post this? And it was a letter that Kaepernick sent to the NFL and to the Jets, I believe, too, that's really saying, you feel me, I think I should be a quarterback. And he references Zach Wilson. He references the fact that he wants Zach Wilson, to succeed in the NFL. But there's an opportunity to be a backup. There's an opportunity to be QB number one in the event that, something happens. That he would definitely, be up for the challenge. He's been on record saying that he's continued to work out after leaving the NFL. I mean, y'all know I went to Morehouse. It was one time at Morehouse he worked out at our school. He was working out there and all that. So I think he mean well. He a good guy. But let's just be realistic, bro. You're not coming back in the NFL. It sounds harsh, but it's true. There's no circumstance, there's no way that you can file a grievance against the NFL, get a settlement, and come back to the NFL. It's simply not possible. And my one critique with Kaepernick, look, you can protest. There isn't a certain time where you should protest, right? I don't believe that, all right, there's a certain time. But in terms of athletes, the time that you protest in terms of how well you're doing in your career matters. It does. It matters. Let's say a guy like Dwayne Wade, you feel me? Let's say he's fighting for social injustices. He's saying, I'm not going to wear a Heat uniform, or he's kneeling for the anthem and all that during 2008, 2010. That's going to hold more weight versus if he's trying to kneel in 2018. That's just a fact, bro. one thing that I love about LeBron James is that he has been outspoken, fighting for issues, and he's at the top of his game, right? Top of his game. Kaepernick, his best series was what? 2011, 2012, maybe like 2010. Those are like his best years. Kaepernick's best years were in the early 2010s. When he started speaking out, when he started protesting, when he started kneeling for the national anthem. When was that? That was after his prime. So I'm curious to see how, if he would still have a job if he protested in his prime. Because I think what the message that he's saying now would really, really have a bigger impact if he was at the top of his game. Like, imagine if Patrick Mahomes did what Kaepernick did. He's the best quarterback in the league. So you can't blackball the guy. He on what? Like, he just got a contract extension. Like, he's getting paid with like $50+ million a year. You literally can't blackball the guy. But if you have been reserved to a backup, you have been reserved to a lesser role than you used to be in your prime, you're more susceptible to being blackballed. That's just the facts, bro. That's just the facts. And for good or for worse, when you're an athlete, these teams, they tolerate more when you're on your game, when you're in your prime. That's why guys like Antonio Brown, he was acting a fool. But he was acting a fool in his prime, so they tolerated it. Now, I'm not trying to compare what Antonio Brown has done to Colin Kaepernick, but it's the same thing. The NFL teams, the NFL, they did not like what Kaepernick was doing. But he chose to protest after his prime, which made him easily a target to be blackballed because he isn't a top tier quarterback in the league anymore. There was a time he was elite. There was a time where out of like maybe 6 or 7 quarterbacks in the league, like Kaepernick was one of those guys. But once he spoke out, he wasn't that. And now you're telling me the last time you played was what, 2016, 2017? So you're talking about 6 years since you played in the NFL, a team wants you back? Like, why would the Jets really take you back? Why would the Jets take you back? They're trying to win. Like, I think it's actually disrespectful to NFL players that have been in the league year by year to say, yo, I've been working out, 5 days a week or whatever since I've been out the league. So I'm ready to, come back in the NFL. If you've been out of the league for just 1 year, you seen what Deshaun Watson be looking, what he looked like with the Texans versus what he looks like now, it's night and day. And that was only like a year and a half. So you're telling me that you're not going to be in the NFL for 6 years and you actually think like an NFL team is going to pick you up. So that's not even considering the NFL is against his protest and him kneeling for the anthem and fans, not wanting Kaepernick on their team or whatever because of his, because of the politics and all that. That's not even talking about that. Never mind that. We just talking about you as an athlete, what you can do performance-wise on the field. We all know damn well you're not doing enough on the field, bro. Come on. Like, let's keep it a stat. Like, and it's not me, crapping on Kaepernick, for doing this, but let's be realistic. So now I can see why certain people could feel that Kaepernick really doesn't want to be in the NFL. He just wants to be in headlines. Because let's keep it a stack, bro. Like, damn well, there is no way the NFL is taking you back, bro. It doesn't matter if you write them a letter, an essay, you write a book. They're not taking you back. I'm just sorry. That's just what it is. And it is a little bit odd, Kaepernick, that you would want to come back. You would want to come back to the NFL after the stuff that you're talking about is continuing. What happened with Jim Trotter? They fired Jim Trotter because he was speaking out against the NFL. This is recent. This guy literally just sued the NFL. So what is you? I feel like it's contradictory too. It's like, all right, I'm going to go back to the same organization that, blackballed me, and I'm trying to fight. I'm trying to be an activist. Like, that doesn't make no sense. That doesn't make no sense, bro. Just pick him. I'm sorry. I don't want to come across as like telling the athlete, shut up and dribble, or shut up, like stick to one thing. But your career as an NFL athlete, Colin Kaepernick, it is over. I will fully support you if you want to be an activist, if you want to continue what you're doing, continuing to uplift the black community. But you and I, your mom, your uncle, if you got a son, your girlfriend, your agent know this too, bro. J. Cole, he not going to say it, but J. Cole knows. You're not getting in the NFL. The only way a team would sign you is if the owner is desperate enough to get headlines and get his name or get his team all over mainstream media. Because that's what you'll do. You'll bring a lot of headlines, or you'll bring a lot of people that, come, and just talk about the team because they signed you, even if you're a backup. But no team that really is serious about competing for a championship is going to sign you, Colin Kaepernick. If you were like a year removed, 2 years removed, I could see it. Like, you feel me? I could see it. But we're talking about 6-7 years, bro. I mean, 2016, I was a sophomore in high school. Now I'm a graduate student. Like, let's keep it a stack. Like, the time has passed. The time has passed. So, the reason why I named this podcast Real Talk with MJ is because regardless of what the issue is, I'm going to give y'all a real, authentic take that is looking at this stuff objectively, bro. Like, you can't realistically say Colin Kaepernick is ready for the NFL. That would just be an insult to all the talent in the NFL right now. And again, look at Deshaun Watson. He is a clear example. You can't just be out of the league for a year and some change and come back to your same form. That's just not possible. And Deshaun Watson was a top 5 quarterback. And there was times this season he was better last week, but it was times this season he looked like a bottom 5 quarterback in this league, bro. That's just keeping it a stack. So again, let me know what you think. I want you to let me know, do you think that somebody like Colin Kaepernick would flourish in the NFL right now? Do you think a guy in Colin Kaepernick is, he just want to be in headlines? What do you think his motive is in writing this letter? And what do you think about Kaepernick coming back to a league which we all know is racist, bro? All know is racist, bro. Let me know. It's Real Talk with Miles Johnson, where I always keep it real. I'm out, y'all.